Yeah, them old double G's is back to break you off another dub from the fat sack on rap. Hey, Dub, give him something to groove to.
All right. How are we doing, everybody? It's me, it's Alan Lachusa, and welcome again to the Interdisciplinary Indigenous Hip Hop Network. And we're dropping our next podcast here and getting this all going. And today we actually have a real special feature. We have Oba Sankofa. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool. And we're calling and speaking to you from two different areas and two different locations. I'm calling to you from the occupied territories, just right outside the my Lasenio reservation. So Miyom to everybody out there, Miyom Chum, and Oba is calling in, dialing into us from West Philly, from Philadelphia. So we got some a time delay and everything, but we're gonna make this all happen. And he's an interesting cat. And he's got some really fun stuff that we want to get into and talk about, because he runs a university and an academic situation that deals specifically with hip hop and called the University of Rap, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. So before we get going, I just want to say thank you to Oba Sankofa for making this time, and for being on and letting us share this space together. And he sent me a little bio and everything that I'm going to post in the notes so everybody can see it. And then he's got his Instagram that's up here. It's at Oba1 Sankofa. That's at OBA, the number one, Sankofa, and that's on his Instagram. So you're able to kind of check him out there, and then all the stuff is going to be archived up on our Substack. It'll be up on the YouTube channel. So for those of you checking out there, you'll be able to see that, and then it'll also be on the website, so you can get everything dialed in there. So here it is. Here's a little bit about him, and he's going to share his history and everything with us as we get going. So he says, now living in West Philly, Oba Sankofa has been teaching for 10 years in the Philadelphia district, serving grades K to college in a variety of subjects, including math, science, social studies, and cooperative economics. He noticed a lack of relatable curriculum in urban schools, primarily for Black children, and created the University of Rap, which engages scholars using a hip hop pedagogy. In 2022, he organized and started the Hip Hop Olympics, a free intergenerational event that helps grade school students achieve academic mastery through events that represent the 10 elements of hip hop. He graduated from Rowan University in 2011 and has received the 30 Under 30 from the Fun Times magazine in 2018. Currently, Oba Sankofa teaches at the Southwest Leadership Academy Charter School in Southwest Philadelphia. So everybody, give a big shout out to Oba Sankofa, the director, owner, manager, educator, a par excellence of the University of Rap. I just want to thank you for being here, and I want to hear about all this. So, 10 elements of hip hop, dude. Okay, all right. So I'm finishing up an article right now on a cat who's dealing with and he's trying to integrate it and push the envelope, and he was able to come up with 8. How did you come up with 10?
Well, that is a very interesting story indeed. So I'll just jump right into it. Personally, I know that I was doing a lot of research on KRS-One. That's been one of my favorite MCs, master teachers, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave 9. And I'm going to give them to you. The ones that he gave were the 9 that I got from him. And they were obviously DJ is number 1. Then he gave breakdancing, then MCing, then graffiti. Those were the core 4. I think everybody pretty much in the hip hop circles understands those 4. Then beatboxing is number 5, which I feel like those first 5, everybody pretty much can get and understand those 5.
Okay.
Then KRS went on with the next 4, which were news to me. So I'm going to break those down as well. He gave street fashion, which of course is how you rock your clothes, which of course hip hop is a big fan of being fashionable. Street entrepreneurship, which of course when you have your CDs and people were making sure they're selling them out their trunks and any type of entrepreneurial activities that you have, legal or illegal, happens to be street entrepreneurship. Then he gave street language, which to me is one of my favorite ones because a lot of times, there's a lot of language that we use that a lot of other individuals and other sexes don't use. You go to the CEO of a big company, he may not know what John means, or he may not know what nah means, or you say these things to people off the street, they may not know what you mean, but street language, as KRS put it, is a way that we can free ourselves because it's kind of like an underground language and nobody would know. And then, of course, you have, I said, street entrepreneurship, street fashion, street language, and street knowledge, of course, obviously. That was the ninth one, street knowledge. And he wrote that down charismatically in many different ways. You need to, even when it comes to just knowing how to cross the street and knowing how to drive, and then knowing who to talk to and on the street and who not to talk to. So street knowledge is just basically in order to even be an MC, to be a break dancer, to be a DJ, to be a graffiti artist, you first need street knowledge. I mean, that's just, you first need the knowledge of what are your people thinking about, as he said, what are your people thinking about? And then you can be an MC, because then you have to know what your audience is thinking about to be able to talk to them in a way that they need to understand it. And dance and DJ, if you are DJing Aretha Franklin and your audience is more so into thinking about how they're going to survive, then you may not be tapped in, they may not like your DJing. So you have to be knowledgeable about what is going on with your people, that you're trying to serve in the hip hop community. And those were the 9 that he gave, and those are very profound. And then me personally, as a scholar, as a hip hop artist myself, I realized there was one that we were missing. And it's one that I made up myself, just to add on to all of the remixes and remixes that hip hop is. I realized that a lot of our movements, especially for Indigenous folk, Black and brown folk, we always create a lot of movements. We create a lot of wonderful things, but they always get interloped or they always get destroyed, taken over. And so my 10th element was self-defense. Because when you build something, you have to be able to defend it. Whether it is mental self-defense, technology self-defense, spiritual self-defense, and literally physical self-defense, and even educational self-defense, because the first word is always education. Right. And so that's what I created as the last 10th element was self-defense, because I just got tired of seeing every movement co-opted or destroyed by our lack of self-defense. And it doesn't always have to mean that we have to pick up arms and fight. It just means that before it even gets there, we should have places and spaces and things and protocols in place so that those things don't come to a downfall again, and to prepare the young ones to be able to defend themselves in those areas, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially.
Dude, that's so awesome that you brought that up, because I was just thinking about that. It's because it's like with breakdancing, right? With b-boying and whatnot, and that comes out of has a lot of the capoeira, relationship that's in there, right? And coming out of that, and then even with Congo Square, if we want to take it back to like the slave narrative, right, with the friendly combats that they would play out, and the storytelling that they would be doing through the body, and so it's, and then if you want to tag that along with the beatboxing that the KRS One brought in there, right, because they were using the body as the instrument, and so, but see, that's even much more cooler, because there's a lot of cats who from the Puerto Ricans, because they talk about that as well, and how it's element, when they really pioneered what became breakdance, and in the Bronx and the hood and everything, right? And then cats, here, the indigenous cats, I mean, they were starting to mix a lot of those styles inside of their traditional and contemporary dance as well. So it's all related. I didn't even think about that one. That one's really cool. That's a nice. So then how do you deal with that then in your hip hop Olympics?
So it all depends on how they want to express themselves. So obviously hip hop is first and foremost about self-expression, right? It's how do you want to express your own creativity in yourself. So sometimes it may just be a simple push-up challenge to see who can do the most push-ups. Sometimes we put the pads on and actually, do some jabs and things like that to see who can stay up the longest. It all depends on what the main focus is of the students that we have. Again, it's all tailored to the students. So some students may want to even do a financial dissertation about how we can have group economics and save our money and put a presentation up about how we can do that to save ourselves economically. So it all depends on how they want to craft their own story and how they want to go about, bringing that creativity to the rest of their peers and the people who attend the audience that attends the Hip Hop Olympics to see who has the best level-headed self-defense mechanism for us. So it could be, like I said, it could be financial, it could be physical, it could be mental. It all just depends on, what as the judges think is the best method. Whoever wins, the judges think is the best method for self-defense. And sometimes, it is physical because sometimes the physical activities look very mesmerizing and look very powerful. As you know, people love to see a good one, a good self-defense match. So, sometimes it is, but like I said, sometimes it also just comes down to the presentation too. Sometimes the presentation is so powerful, and if we follow those steps of self-determination and group economics, it can really be really powerful to help solve a lot of the financial issues that we have in a lot of our communities.
Nice. How many kids do you normally get to participate, and what's the age range?
Usually we started at fourth grade and it goes all the way to high school senior year. So typically we have anywhere between the most amount of kids that participated, I believe at one point was 60, 65.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that was the most, and the least amount I think it was maybe 25, 30.
Wow. How does the community deal with that? I mean, how do they receive it?
Well, if you go to the website, I believe the recap video is there so you can see it, but the community loves it. We're working on getting more sponsors. We're working on getting some grants. People, I don't know if heard the name Mickey Fax. He supported before. One time he came and talked to the children. Before he's a superb lyrical rapper from New York. He shouted us out and came through and talked to the kids. So, we have a lot of other local artists that have helped, and the community really helps a lot. We have a lot of elders who came to the last one. I know I have to give a shout out to Brother Shamari from Philadelphia. He always looks out and brings the OG, as they call the original guardians to the segment. And so I appreciate him for always stepping up and showing out, bringing some of the elders to the spaces as well. And they all love it, to see the young ones do something constructive. I won't even say positive. I'll just say constructive, because positive and negative can be disseminated in different ways, but just really structured and in a way that is creative to show their passion is great for everybody. Like I said, intergenerational. It's great for even people who are 2 to 92 to see.
Nice. And then, are these students who participate in their school program as well? And is that after school, or is that during the regular curriculum?
Oh, it's both.
Both.
It's both. We do. So, it kind of has to be both because there's not enough time in the day, right, to do everything. So sometimes, we'll have segments during the day, and sometimes we'll have segments after school. We do have African drumming after school. We do have self-defense after school. We do DJ club after school. But a lot of times we do a lot of that stuff in school. I even had DJ equipment while I'm teaching math. And we'll have students spinning the start class. So, it's all just a part of, like I said, the hip hop pedagogy. I think it's just important to have hip hop in the classroom 24/7. So it's something that as Kara says, hip hop is who you are.
Right.
It's not really what you do. It's who you are. So, and that can come into all types of different demonstrations.
So was this an outgrowth that you saw out of your education? I mean, with your learning, with your background, your teaching. I mean, did you have any educational classes or something like that came up, or I mean, how did you? I mean,
in my own learning.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Well, funny enough, I went to college at least for radio, television, and film. So I didn't go to school for education at all.
Okay.
So yeah, I graduated with a bachelor's in radio, television, and film. Shout out to Rowan, the South Jersey squad. But really, it was coming out of college back in 11. It was right after the 2008 recession and things
Right.
like that, and there weren't too many opportunities. And then I'm also not going to say that. Let me just be honest and say that I kind of didn't take college seriously.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't really put my all into a lot of different things. I definitely wasn't. I wasn't a studious individual. Let's just put it that way, for a lack of terms. So I didn't really apply myself that much. So all of the opportunities were taken by people who did apply themselves, because real TV film, you have to have reels, and you have to have a lot of. It's not like you just have to have a lot of things that people can see that you have done. Whether it be reels, or you be on the field reporting, things like that. So I didn't really do a lot of those things. I didn't really have a reel that I could send to a TV station and say, hey, look, this is what I've done. Put me on the broadcast. Or, I didn't really have any films. All the times we did films in college and they told us to do films, I didn't even really do much.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So I didn't really take it seriously. So I got into subbing, because that was the easy thing. All you needed was a degree to get into subbing. So I got in there, and the first day that I subbed, all I didn't have anything to do. So I just played music that I liked listening to. And I saw the kids were in fourth grade, and I played music that I thought they would like listening to. And that's all we did the whole time, was just listen to music, and we had a great time. And of course, obviously, I gave the worksheets out and did all the stuff. But while they were doing that, I played the music. And I mean, the reaction that I got, I had no idea. I had never been in a school since high school, so
Right.
just, especially like the little kids, so just the reaction, they was like, I want you to come back. And to this day, shout out to senior conference, those kids. I never went back because my assignment was to another school the next day. And I felt so bad. And that's when it clicked. Like, man, I really have to do something with this, because for them to, feel that way so strongly, I never felt, that way, that somebody really wanted just to listen to music. I never felt that way. So it's like, there's got to be something to this. And how can I give it to every child? Because everywhere I went, it was the same thing. Come back. And I would never come back. And I would always feel so bad to all of those kids. So shout out to all those kids that I just never met. Because again, back then when I first started subbing, it was just to make money. It wasn't to make an impact, right? I was really young, so I wasn't even thinking about it in any terms of ways. I was just going out there just trying to survive. Really, it was. I didn't even really care about the kids, to be honest. I didn't care about the kids. I didn't even care about them. I was just doing stuff just to get through the day. But then something clicked, and it really clicked when my parents. Shout out to my dad. They're educators. My dad was a principal. My mom was an English teacher. And it was like, maybe I have to really, step into my power and transform. So I say my favorite quote is, step into your power, it's time to transform. So maybe I was like, maybe it's my time to step into my power and actually transform. And so I decided to create and spent, months creating a curriculum, a pedagogy that hip hop could be used. And I tried to pitch it to all types of schools, and I got no's everywhere, left and right. And I finally got a yes.
Oh, wow.
And from then on, from that yes on, shout out to Kareem Goodwin, who put me the first principal that could say yes to me. From then on, I've been in the schools since then, and I've been creating some of the students. My first class in 2016 that I had, I go to their graduations. I hired them for jobs to be a part of our organization. My first class is now 20.
Oh, wow.
I met them when they were in the 6th grade, and now they're 20 years old. So I still keep in contact with a lot of them. Every class, I still keep in contact with a lot of them, because I realized the impact. Hip hop is a global phenomenon. Me, MC as well, me teaching them, how to just be in this society through the eyes of hip hop, which they can easily relate to as created ample opportunities for them. It's created them to see themselves in a more positive light. And it's just been amazing to see from the genesis of me not caring to me this being the only thing that I care about.
Right.
It's a funny dynamic.
No, so you got your feet wet with it all in like 2016, is that right?
Correct. Like 2015, I started subbing. 2016, I got my first contract.
Nice. Okay. And then you haven't turned back since. It's just continued to grow since then.
Since 2016, yes.
That's nice because I love one of the things you told me was you said hip hop is all we do, all day, that's all we do, everything with it. And I was thinking about that. I was like, all right, I deal with it and I know how I deal with it, but as from an academic perspective and the cultural context with it. But then when you said that you're using it to teach economics, I can understand that. But I'm like thinking like, okay, math. I can see that. Science. All right, I can stretch it. English, obviously, with the African American vernacular, and or the street language as KRS-One, put out there, and
Right.
and Smitherman and Sami Alim, those are the cats who really, got that whole thing going. But I'm thinking about, like some of the other things. I mean, how are your colleagues? Do they receive it, as much as the students? I have a question about the students, but how are your colleagues receiving it?
Well, as you can imagine, as you can imagine, there are some lovers and there's some haters, but
Okay.
I tell all the kids that's life. The reason, I mean, humans are tribal in general. I
Mm,
mean, that's just life. You're not always gonna have people that love everything that you do, and then there's gonna be people that absolutely love what you do more than you do. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
who believe in your mission even stronger than you do.
Right.
So it is that type of lifestyle. Some principles really support us, and some principles don't support us at all, but are just neutral. And some principles really do their best to make sure that we don't do much. So it's all levels. It's all levels. There's some principles they really just say, you know what, here you are, go ahead, whatever you need, boom. Some principals just say, I don't really know hip hop, but I know the kids love it. If you can bring up test scores and bring up blah 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 blah, do it. I'm not even gonna intercede. I'm just hands off, hands off. I'm not gonna say yes or no. If it makes sense to the budget, everything's cool. As long as everything is no sweat on my back, I'm good. And then some principals are just like, you know what? No, these kids don't deserve it. So no music.
Wow. So do
So
you
we have
so
underground.
are you given like a regular classroom and then you're teaching your own curriculum?
So yes, I am the math teacher at my school. I
Okay.
teach sixth, seventh, and eighth grade math.
Okay.
That is what I do.
Okay.
However, the principal at my school has allowed through our contract for me to also what I hip hop and math. So I teach the 10 elements through the mathematics curriculum that school has.
Nice.
So I remix the curriculum. So our curriculum, their math curriculum, I remix it and then I teach it. So it's like I have to almost do twice as much lesson planning. But I know at this point, 10 years in, it's kind of, and the math doesn't change. So now that I've been doing it for so long, it's kind of like I don't have to really plan as much anymore because I know the math answers for sure. And I obviously know the hip hop answers for sure. So now it's just, all right, each year is different because the kids are different. They're younger and they're less knowledgeable about life because of the social media and the screens that they're on. And so it's more difficult because they're more so in tune with things that really don't matter. So I have to kind of unteach them to reteach them. And that is an arduous task. As in when back in 2016, those kids were sponges because it wasn't so much social media damage as it is, and it wasn't COVID yet, and that damage that what they did to the education. So now post COVID, it's just been a lot more teaching them just how to be a normal functioning person in society before we can even get to the hip hop.
Wow.
Like respect and empathy, and those types of things have to be taught before. I'm like, listen, I know you guys want to get into DJing. I know you guys want to, but like, guys and girls, you have to be respectful. You have to first respect each other, yourself, in this space first before you can even. If you cannot do that, then there's no way I'm going to be able to teach you anything else. So after COVID, it got a little bit more difficult with the hip hop. It got just a little, obviously, it got more difficult just in general to be a teacher, but you know, like I said, hip hop prevails because at the end of the day, it's an incentive. They want to get to that, and so it makes it a little bit easier to teach when they have an incentive that they want to get to.
Right. So did the kids come in with their stereotype of what hip hop is?
Unfortunately, a lot of them don't even have a stereotype. They don't even really know what it is, really.
Really?
A lot of them don't even know the first four elements. A lot of them don't know any of the elements, to be honest. They don't even really know. They know them once you say them. They're like, "Oh, okay," but they don't know. Like if I just go into a classroom and just say, "What's name one element?" They won't. They'll say, "Rapping," and I'm like, "Okay, I can give you that, but that's not what the element is. The element is MC, but rapping is part of MC, but it's not the element." So they'll say things, but they won't be the actual thing. It'll be parts of what the elements are.
Wow. Okay. So they don't come in like singing like where's Carly B, where's Three Stallions, where's they don't come in with this stuff like that.
So that was back before COVID. Post COVID is all this TikTok stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the TikTok dances, the TikTok viral challenges, just the 6-7 thing. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of brain rot. It has things that they're into things that don't even really, unfortunately, make much sense. Like at least our slang has sense. Their slang is just it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean it's just words that are meaningless. So it's sad to really see, to be honest. Sometimes I wish that I could go to the 90s with this program because I feel like it would be a wrap. Like the world would be changed.
Right.
But I'm here in the era that I'm in, and we're trying to make the changes that we're making. And we are making changes because once you get to the Hip Hop Olympics, I mean, they lock in because with the cash prize, they want to win. They want to win, so they lock in with that. And not only just the cash prize, but just to be seen as winners and the trophies. And they see they saw the previous year. Now they're, and as soon as the school year began, the first question was, when are we having the Hip Hop Olympics? So that right there is everything to me because it's all right. It's September. The Hip Hop Olympics isn't until May, and we're already getting questions about it. So that lets me know that something is working.
So you do it every year. It's just at the end of the year.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Because we got to work up to it. Like I said, if they're coming in as a blank slate, we can't have the Hip Hop Olympics, in November, December when they don't even know what the 10 elements are.
Right. And then what do they do? What do you do during the summer and like winter breaks and things like that? How do you keep them, inspired and keep everything going?
We do summer camps. Winter break is winter break. I mean, nobody's doing anything on winter break. I mean, it's winter break. You're supposed to take time with family and all that. Plus, winter break is only 2 weeks, so I mean, it's not, So, but yeah, summer break. We do summer camps. We do block parties. We turn up. We do a lot of different things. We do giveaways. We have a community center that they can come into and chill and kick it all summer long. So, we do a lot of different things in the summer, field trips, things like that. So, we work with a great community center called the Eco Foundation. Out to Brother Kyle, who is Kyle the conductor, Dr. Kyle the conductor, who is, if you go to the ecofoundation.org, great organization. They give food away every week. They do so many great things with the kids as well. We're partners with them as well, and we hold hands and do things together. So I wouldn't even really be here without the Eco Foundation, for real.
Nice.
It's cool. So we do a lot of different things in the summer with the Eco Foundation to keep everything going. So it's a well-oiled machine. So I got to give credit to Dr. Kyle, the conductor, and his president, Bella.
Nice. Make sure that that these organizations that you're mentioning and these people, the scholars that you're talking about, make sure that you send them to me, because then I'll add them into the notes for all this, and I'll put them on the website so people can get a hold of them and see what's going on, because we definitely want to support and and share and get that information out there as to what's going on. Um, so so you run a lot on grants, like you said, in addition to what the Philadelphia School District provides for you. And what other kind of funding and things do you do? I mean, does the community chip in at all? I mean, are there other resources and things that really kind of help support what you're doing?
So most of it is we're a for-profit organization. The community center is nonprofit with the Eco Foundation, but most of it is run out of our pocket. Most of it, I'll say 90% is from our pocket. I would say maybe 5% is from grants. So we're trying to get that down, because we've been hustling, but and like I said, it's amazing. We're grateful to be able to provide through our pockets for these kids. So but we definitely want to get some more, and we did actually get an organization to help us with grants this time. So we're going to be working with some more grants and doing those things. So we're definitely grateful for all the opportunities.
Nice. And so how then can people contribute then, if they really want to like reach out to you and give some support, or at least share and get the word out. I mean, obviously I'm doing what we can here on the podcast, and helping with social media to get your word out. But I mean, how else can people reach out to you, and to help with it, or to get more information, and support it, in that kind of way? What else can people do to contact you?
The website for the Hip Hop Olympics is thehiphopolympics.com.
Okay.
And it's actually, instead of THE, it's THA, in the hip hop, I had to do it for hip hop. Shout out to hip hop one time. So it's THA hiphopolympics.com. And so you can go to the hiphopolympics.com. Everything is there, donations, talk to us, chat us, whatever you need. My number is there. The website is there. The email is there. Whatever you need, to talk to us, we're there. We're there. And somebody will get back to you definitely within 24 hours. And, if you want to support, we have the buttons for support for sure.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's real important, man, because I want to make sure that that people hear that and understand. So that's really the driving website then, is the THA hip hop Olympics .com.
Correct.
So it's funny because what is it? I do I was running my tracks for D Day, so I took out, instead of it was the letter D. So it's keeping the street lingo, as you're saying, in place. So, because I know the THA, some people are using with it, but I replaced it with D. It tracks for today, to kind of run it all together with all that. Dude, this was so exciting, to have this moment in time, and to share the space with you, and to get that information, happening, and what you got going. So, is there anything else? Any other things, events that are coming up? Something you want to share? Before we kind of sign out. Things are going on that.
Yeah, for sure. For those that may not know or do know, Kwanzaa is coming up. For a lot of our communities, it's definitely something that we do starting December 26th to January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody celebrates that, but that's coming up. So do with that what you will. I know January 3rd we have an event coming up where I'll actually be performing. So that'll be nice and lit. It'll actually be at our community center, so that'll be glad some folks with us for there. I'll send you the flyer
Please.
via email, and the Hip Hop Olympics will be in May, which is funny to say, but it's coming up. I mean, it's literally 5 months away, so or 6 months away. So it's not too far away. It'll be here before we know it. So. I'm grateful to steward that again, and that's basically all that's really coming up. Again, I appreciate you, Brother Allen, for having us on. and giving us an opportunity to explain all the way 3 hours different. That's amazing. That's major. That's major hip hop community love. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. It really means a lot that we have people that share our collective hip hop vision to see the world be better.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, no, we'll have to get you back on and do something with your hip hop Olympics. I'd love to have the kids come on, and have them like talk about, maybe we can do like a post event. What were the highlights and things like that, in May. So we'll stay in contact. And again, the website where people can get a hold of you is THAHipHopOlympics.com. And then your Instagram is OBA1 Sankofa. That's OBA, the number one, SANKOFA, and that's on your Instagram. And I'll make sure that all these things get put up on the website and whatnot, and we'll send you all the information and whatnot. And we're going to keep in contact. So, brother, man, I just really thank you and appreciate everything you do. So we're going to keep it alive, keep it supporting. And now I got 10 elements that I have to study and get involved with. So thanks for coming on the Interdisciplinary Indigenous Hip Hop Network. And this is Brother O, as this tagline says right there. And this is Alan Chusa. And thank you all for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon.